Nobody tells you that the hardest part of having a baby isn't the birth. It's the 12 weeks after. It has a name, the fourth trimester, and most parents have never even heard of it. I'm going to tell you 7 things about the first 12 weeks that your midwife, your health visitor, and every parenting book somehow forgot to mention. If you're pregnant, watch this before your due date. If you're already in it, this is going to explain everything. If you're in the first 12 weeks right now, and you feel like you're failing, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not failing. You are doing something that is genuinely, scientifically, one of the most demanding things a human body and mind can do. The fact that it doesn't feel magical all the time doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're doing it honestly. So what is the fourth trimester? You know the 3 trimesters of pregnancy. What most people don't realize is that human babies are born earlier than almost any other mammal because our heads are too large to stay in the womb any longer. What that means is your baby isn't actually ready for the outside world when they arrive. They spend the first 12 weeks still developing, still completing what the womb started. That period is the fourth trimester, and understanding it changes everything about how you interpret your baby's behavior. I'm going to walk you through 7 things that are completely normal in the fourth trimester, that nobody warned you about. And for each one, I'll tell you exactly what's happening and what you can actually do. The one that surprises parents most is coming up. So stay with me. Here's the first thing most people don't realize. And once you hear it, a lot of the hard stuff starts to make sense. Your newborn baby has no idea they've left the womb. I mean that almost literally. In the first few weeks, they can't distinguish between themselves and you. They have no concept of being a separate person. To them, your arms, your smell, your heartbeat, your warmth, that is their entire world. The outside world is overwhelmingly loud, bright, cold, and still. Compared to what they knew, every single sensation is brand new. This is why your baby cries when you put them down. This is why they only sleep on you. This is why they seem to need you every single moment of every day. They're not spoiled. They're not manipulative. They're a mammal who has just arrived in a completely alien environment. And you are the only familiar thing in it. What can you actually do with this? Lean into proximity rather than fighting it in these early weeks. Your body is their regulation system right now. Literally, skin-to-skin contact in the first 12 weeks isn't indulgent. It's neurologically essential. And in a few weeks, not months, but weeks, this changes. Coming up, the thing nobody tells you about your own body during this time, which is honestly just as important. Now, here's something that nobody warned me about. And this one is for the parent, not just the baby. The day after birth, your estrogen and progesterone levels drop by more than 100 times. In 24 hours, that is one of the steepest hormonal crashes the human body ever experiences. More dramatic than menopause. More dramatic than any other life event. And we send people home from hospital in that state with a baby they've never met and expect them to be fine. The baby blues, that wave of unexplained crying and overwhelm in the first week, is this hormonal crash playing out in real time. It is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that your body just did something extraordinary and is recalibrating. Up to 80% of new mothers experience it. The problem is, nobody names it clearly enough before it happens. So when it does, parents think they've broken. Now here is where it gets important, and where most content stops before telling you the part that actually matters. There's a very specific point in the fourth trimester where parents hit the hardest wall. I'll tell you exactly when that is in just a moment. But first, this next one completely changed how I thought about sleep. Your newborn's sleep isn't broken, it's designed. Newborns wake every 2 to 3 hours because their stomachs are the size of a marble. They cannot physically go longer than that without feeding. Add to that the fact that their circadian rhythm, their internal body clock, doesn't develop until around 3 months. They genuinely don't know it's night. You are not failing at sleep training. It is neurologically impossible right now. Okay, this is the one I mentioned at the start. The one that surprises parents most. Week 6 is often the hardest week of the entire 4th trimester. Not week 1, week 6. Here's why. In week 1, you're running on adrenaline, and everyone is around helping. By week 6, the visitors have stopped. The help has gone home. Your partner may be back at work. The shock has worn off. The sleep debt has stacked up. And you're hit with the full weight of the new reality. Week 6 is also when the 6-week growth spurt hits. If you're approaching week 6 right now, you are not suddenly doing worse. You've just hit the wall that nobody warned you about. The next 2 things are the ones people most often wish they'd known. And the last one, the one I'm going to ask you to share with every new parent you know, is coming right at the end. Stay with me. Now let's talk about feeding, because this one needs to be said clearly. Breastfeeding, being hard in the first 12 weeks, is not a sign that it's not working. It takes most mothers and babies 6 to 8 weeks to establish a feeding relationship. 6 to 8 weeks, that is normal. Cluster feeding, when your baby seems to feed constantly for hours, is not a supply issue. It's your baby signaling your body to increase milk production. It is supposed to feel relentless, because it is relentless. And if you're formula feeding, the guilt you might be feeling is not evidence that you made a wrong choice. Fed is not a compromise. Fed is the goal. This might be the most important thing in this entire video. What you see on social media is not the 4th trimester. What is actually normal in the first 12 weeks? Crying in the shower, not recognizing yourself in the mirror, loving your baby and resenting your new life at the same time, Googling things at 3 a.m. that terrify you, wondering if you made a mistake, feeling completely alone in a room full of people. All of this is normal. All of it passes. And that brings me to the last one. This one isn't about your baby at all. It's about you. You are not the same person you were before you had this baby. And that is not a loss, even when it feels like one. There's a word for this: matrescence. The psychological and neurological transformation of becoming a parent. Your brain is literally restructuring itself. Researchers have documented gray matter changes in new parents that persist for years. This isn't metaphorical. Your identity, your priorities, your relationships, your sense of self. They are all being reorganized. That disorientation you feel? That's not you failing to adjust. That's you being born into a completely new version of yourself. And, just like your baby, you need time, warmth, and patience to get there. The 4th trimester ends. For your baby, usually around 12 weeks, you'll notice them becoming more alert, more social, more settled. They start to smile. They start to show you who they are. And for you, it takes a little longer. But at some point in that first year, you'll look up from whatever ordinary moment you're in, and you'll realize you've arrived. The fog has cleared. You know this baby. You know yourself again. And who you are on the other side of the 4th trimester is someone who did something extraordinary. If you're in the 4th trimester right now, save this video and come back to it on the hard days. If you know someone who's pregnant or just had a baby, please send this to them before they need it. Subscribe if you want more of this. I post every week, and next week, I'm covering the one thing that nobody tells you about week 6, specifically, and exactly how to get through it. I'll see you there.